The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Friday morning, everyone. It's TGIF, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. So it is the last day of the first month of the year. So
this is a long month.
31 days. So we do have movie night tonight. As always, regardless of what's going on, I'm going to play a movie every Friday night. So tonight's movie is Elvis with Tom Hanks. Don't know about Elvis, but I like Tom Hanks. So I figured, you know what, give it a shot. Let me see what, he's a good actor, as long as he don't turn into Forrest Gump in the middle of it, we're good.
Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get next. But yeah, I'm super excited for that movie. I don't think I've seen that. That sounds like it's going to be pretty good.
Well, it was requested a while back, and I finally found it, so I will be playing it tonight. So, but anyway, come and check us out tonight, 6 p.m. Like I said, grab your snacks and party favors, whatever it is you like to enjoy, munch on, whatever the case may be, while you watch a movie. And we'll one of our other folks just informed me. I didn't even look at it. It's 2.5 hours long, so it's a long one. So make sure you got plenty of snacks. So on that note, before we get started with any of these articles, y'all got any plans for the weekend?
Me, not a lot of plans. Just chilling. Today I'm just chilling right here. Be on my computer probably.
Okay. What about you, Britt?
I guess I'll be doing some Blind United stuff. I don't know. That's probably it.
I don't know. I do Blind United stuff every day, so man, this is really a job, I mean, I love what I'm doing. I love what we're doing for the folks, and all that kind of stuff. But man, this is a lot of work.
If somebody would have told me 3, 4, 5 years ago, this is what you're going to be doing, I would have laughed in their face. Honestly, I'd never, ever imagined that we would do this. But I'm proud of you, Ed. I'm proud of you.
Well, I mean, it's teamwork, Red. It ain't me. It's teamwork. So I got a title, but we all got a title. But it doesn't matter what the title is. It's all about being a team. So as long as everybody does their part, that's what's that saying? Teamwork makes the dream work. So, but anyway, we can go ahead and jump into these articles. I found one where, again, 2-3 years ago, whatever, AI was just, hitting mainstream. And, man, there's been I don't know what we want to call it, a fast train, a bullet train ever since, right? As much of I really, really, really appreciate the technology. Just like many other things, the things that are, per se created for, to enhance or for the good, oftentimes gets exploited. And we got some stuff going on. And so let's play this one, Pedro, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, the rise of AI-generated content and its impact on teenagers. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence has revolutionized digital media, making it easier than ever to create highly realistic fake images and videos. While AI offers many benefits, it has also introduced new challenges, particularly for teenagers who are increasingly exposed to misleading and harmful AI-generated content. From manipulated social media images to deepfake scams, today we're diving into how this technology is shaping the lives of young people and what can be done to address its risks. How AI-generated content is affecting teens. Recent studies show that AI-powered misinformation is becoming a major issue, influencing everything from self-esteem to perceptions of reality. Misinformation and trust issues. A significant 35% of teenagers report having been deceived by fake online content, leading to growing skepticism about what they see and read. The ability to distinguish real from fake is becoming increasingly difficult, contributing to confusion and misinformation. Mental health and self-image. AI-generated deepfake images, particularly explicit ones, have negatively impacted teenagers' self-esteem and mental health. Cases of deepfake harassment have been reported worldwide, with victims often experiencing emotional distress. Unrealistic beauty standards. The widespread use of AI beauty filters and image enhancement tools has led to rising cases of Snapchat dysmorphia, a phenomenon where individuals feel pressured to alter their appearance to match unrealistic digital portrayals. This is contributing to body image issues, especially among young social media users. Alarming trends and scandals. While AI has provided creative opportunities, it has also been misused in disturbing ways, raising ethical and legal concerns. South Korea deepfake crisis. In South Korea, both students and teachers have been targeted by AI-generated explicit images. Shockingly, investigations found that many of these manipulated images were created by teenagers themselves. This case highlights the urgent need for digital ethics education. Sextortion and AI-driven scams. Criminals are using AI to create fake news videos and blackmail unsuspecting victims, a tactic that has led to serious distress among young people. These scams have become more sophisticated, making it harder to identify fraudulent content before it causes harm. How can we protect teens from AI-generated harm? With AI tools becoming more accessible, it's essential to take proactive steps to safeguard young people from the negative effects of manipulated content. Media literacy education. Schools and communities must prioritize media literacy training to help teenagers critically analyze digital content. Teaching them how AI-generated media works can empower them to spot misinformation and avoid manipulation. Parental and community involvement. Parents should engage in open conversations with their children about their online experiences, including the ethical concerns of AI-generated content. Encouraging responsible technology use can help prevent harm before it occurs. Stronger regulations and policies. Educational institutions and social media platforms must implement stricter policies regarding AI-generated content. Measures such as content verification tools, digital fingerprinting, and stronger privacy laws can help curb the misuse of AI in harmful ways. Final thoughts. AI-generated content is reshaping the way young people interact with digital media, and while it presents exciting opportunities, it also brings significant risks. By prioritizing education, parental guidance, and policy enforcement, we can help ensure that AI is used responsibly and ethically. What do you think about the rise of AI-generated content? Have you or someone you know encountered misleading or harmful deepfake material? Share your thoughts and experiences. Let's discuss how we can navigate this evolving digital landscape together. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their insights.
Let me start by full disclosure. None of us are AI generated. I'm a real person, Brittany, Pedro.
I don't know if I'm real.
I mean, we're all real folks, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, again, I mean, it just shows how, you know, something that, you know, could be so great can also, you know, create harm, right? I mean, I'm listening in there, where they talking about, creating the lower self-esteem stuff and, body images and all that stuff. I mean, before AI, they were doing it with the models. I mean, all your models were, I mean, I'm sorry, they were twiggy. They weren't, realistic shaped women, if you will. I mean, we're talking about women that were starving themselves to stay small and and all this other kind of creating all of these fake standards, if you will, of what the industry wanted uh, folks to think that women were supposed to look like. I mean, it's crazy, but man, it's just kids. I mean, that's what it's focusing on. I mean, I don't know how to deal with this, Pedro. I mean, you got kids of the age where they're on social media and stuff like that. I barely get on there myself. So, how do you, talk to your kids about this kind of stuff?
Um, well, I've seen a little bit news stories about kids and AI generating images and uh, improper images of fellow classmates and stuff like that with body shame or even nudity. It's been an issue in different schools, with bullying and body shaming. And you're correct. We've been seeing body. It's not body shaming, but the narrative that the industry, when we had models in magazines, even models in the runway, on how they want them to look. You know, in it's been even generation after generation about image, your image, how you supposed to look. You know, but with this new AI generation trend and using it for bullying, kids already are stressed out on other social media problems that they have. I have ran into an issue with one of my children when they had a so-called Instagram page. It's something what they call like a burn book. I guess it's these youngsters take pictures and they put it there, and then they start joking on you and saying mean things and stuff like that. And I believe that's even the young folks that are doing the bullying online don't understand that it affects people, it affects the other kids. Plus, I feel the detachment of actually saying it to someone's face kind of emboldens the youth and emboldens other, even in adults in social media, both emboldens them to say things that they usually wouldn't say in someone's face because there's a detachment there, you know. Uh,
Right.
and talking to my daughter about this and how these pages or AI images need to be reported. Um, I know kids have sayings like snitches get stitches and stuff like that, but honestly, in my opinion, they're not in that life, not in like in a gangster type of life. So it's not snitching because in the long form, you don't want something to happen to one of your kids, like they're getting depressed or get really depressed that they want to cause harm to themselves.
No, I
Right.
agree with you, Pedro. I have a question though. Are there consequences? Like, let's just say somebody's bullying, a child online. Can you go up to the school and say, "Hey, my child's being bullied online by, whoever," and will there be action taken, or will they just kind of say, "Oh, there's nothing we could do about it"?
Um, Sometimes when it's online, you could tell them, you could report. As a parent, you could report pages like that. Tell them that it's minors and there's online bullying happening there, but they pop off and they pop a new page, and sometimes schools tell you, oh, we can't really do nothing there. We have to call law enforcement. And Sometimes kids get discouraged because they have to go through extra steps. It's up to our social medias and schools working somewhat hand in hand to take these threats seriously, because then we have a lot of young youth that are in antidepressants, and they're depressed because sometimes these algorithms has how they've been implemented. Uh, they are trying to get a reaction from you. So sometimes they show you negative things and things that's gonna amp you up, like get you upset or mad, cause a reaction from you. Then you press that like or dislike button, is shooting another dopamine shoot to your brain also. So they're getting you hyped up. It's like a drug in a way. And we this the youth has been growing up with internet since coming out. We had internet come in our lives, you and me, Brittany, and Ed, in our older life in a way, to being established, meaning that we have a web protocol like we're on number three, I think. So the internet is getting more advanced. And, I we have a new issue with that, with the youngsters, that I think we haven't in society had a talk about this. There's been talk in parent groups and school, but I mean like within these corporations that own these platforms, you know?
Well, just to be clear, my ass was so old we couldn't even use calculators in my classroom. So we had no computers, we had no cell phones. There was no such thing as social media.
It was
You
the
know,
OG public square.
exactly. You hung out on the corner with the rest of the fellas and talked smack about other folks, right?
And I
You
guess
know,
the difference is like back in the day, if you talk smack to somebody's face, you're gonna get hit in the face. But now I think the Gen Z, they're just emboldened to say whatever and bully whoever because they're not gonna get face any consequences.
what they call that keyboard warriors or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
online warriors.
I've noticed that like a lot of the comments online are really mean, and it's like, would you say that to that person's face?
Yeah. And I tell my children, I would like, you don't like people telling you that, so when I see my kids do that, I tell them, how would you feel? Or I put them in those shoes, because I like, you've been in that shoes, you've been made fun of, you don't want to make someone else feel like that, you know
Right.
and we, with the internet access, we kids have so much information on their fingertips and access, that sometimes, even, and it's might not even be the parents' fault, because they might not be technically inclined, or they don't know on putting parental controls. I When my daughter has social media, I do see what she's doing, and I customize sometimes to only talk to minors, or we look at her things, who she's following or who's following her, stuff like that. We stay on top of it. At the time right now, she's been without a tablet for like 3 weeks, so she's been watching more movies, but sometimes they do need breaks, you know what I mean, even from their phone and these games, because you know what I mean, they need to understand that there's more than just online, there's more than just the phone
No,
or video games.
definitely. Definitely, Pedro. It just sucks too because nowadays you can't really, I'm not saying you can't take technology away from kids, but like with me it's like, okay, I'm going to take your cell phone, when I was a kid, but like now there's the Chromebooks. You need them for college, not for college, but junior high, high school, like everything has the internet
Elementary.
on it. Your
Hmm.
DS, your PlayStation, your, I just aged myself, your, everything, your Xbox, like
Your
everything,
Xbox, yeah.
everything connects to the internet, so it's like if you're a parent, you could take one thing away, but they're going to find another way to still have access to it, or you can take the smartphone or the tablet or whatever, but they can still use their friends stuff. There's really no way you can really protect your children. And George, he commented, he said, well, he has a couple of comments. The first comment George had is, where can he find these AI models at? Again, he would like to know, where are these AI models at? And George also said that he knows somebody who hung themselves because they were being bullied on Facebook like a child. So that's really sad and unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. So, I mean, something's got to be done about it. I mean, that's for sure. And I mean, I don't know that we're going to get any.
Wasn't
You know,
Melania supposed to fix the bullying?
No, she just was fixing the curtains and all the
no, she
things
was only
inside.
worried about the folks that was bullying Byron. So, or
Mm,
Barron. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But look, other countries have it different. Like China, they have a TikTok, right? But their TikTok, their kids are only allowed to see science things, things that can interest them in, like literature, poetry, in the sciences, like math, science experiments, engineering stuff,
stint
and
stuff.
yeah, STEAM stuff. And they're only allowed a few hours a day, and this is done by the government because they know. And if we would not do it in a demanding way, but do it in a guidelines, like, let's say a parent could sign up for notifications. Hey, your son's been on woo 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 for this long. Boom, you want to give him a break, and then they could take a break. You have to pace yourself, with this stuff. Then you got to know what your kids are watching. Even when I get them presents or I get them stuff, I think about how can I include STEM in this, like engineering or math and stuff like that. Like for one of my children, I bought them how to build a Bluetooth speaker. So they had to build the speaker and all the wires and all that, and then connect it to their device. Not just got them a Bluetooth speaker.
Uh, well, I commend you, Pedro. A lot of parents don't pay that much attention to their kids, and that's another big problem within this. So, but
Yeah,
anyway, and
we gotta cut to a break
Tablets
though.
are not babysitters.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll be back right quick. Sorry.
Do you need assistance with iOS? Or are you curious what iOS is? Perhaps you're seeking tips and tricks on how to use JAWS on your Windows machine. Or maybe you would like to participate in our popular support group led by Dominic. Or maybe join us for movie nights on Friday, where we watch and discuss the movie of the night. For more information, please email us at info@blindunited.org. Once again, that's info@blindunited.org. You can also follow us on Facebook for real-time updates and community interactions. We look forward to connecting with you.
Do you need to talk? Are you struggling with your mental health? Are you struggling with substance abuse issues? Call the Orange County NAMI Warm Line. That number is 877-910-9276. That number again is 877-910-9276.
so this next article is another angle at trying to, say, curve the another crisis we've had here in America. You're dealing with opioids and stuff like that. You know, people go in for whatever type of a surgery, dealing with whatever type of pain. They end up getting prescribed, something that's opioid based, and then next thing you know, you got an addiction. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, a new era in pain management. FDA approves JOURNAVX, suzetrigine, a non-opioid pain treatment. For years, the medical community has sought alternatives to opioid pain relievers, aiming to combat the opioid crisis while still providing effective pain relief. Now, a major breakthrough has arrived. The FDA has officially approved JOURNAVX, suzetrigine, a first-in-class non-opioid analgesic for moderate to severe acute pain in adults. This approval marks a significant milestone in pain management, offering a new option for patients recovering from surgeries and injuries. How does suzetrigine work? Suzetrigine is a highly selective NaV1.8 sodium channel inhibitor, a mechanism that directly targets pain transmission in the peripheral nervous system. Unlike opioids, which act on the brain's opioid receptors and carry risks of addiction and dependence, suzetrigine works outside the central nervous system, making it a non-addictive pain relief option. Clinical trials and effectiveness. The FDA approved suzetrigine based on 2 rigorous, double-blind clinical trials involving patients undergoing abdominoplasty, tummy tuck, and bunionectomy, foot surgery. Results showed significant pain reduction compared to placebo. A well-tolerated safety profile with mild to moderate side effects. No opioid-like withdrawal symptoms or risk of addiction. This means that suzetrigine could provide post-surgical patients with effective pain relief without the dangers of opioids. Potential side effects and safety considerations. While suzetrigine represents a major step forward, patients should be aware of potential side effects, which include itching and skin rashes, muscle spasms, elevated creatine phosphokinase, CPK, levels, a potential marker of muscle breakdown. Additionally, patients are advised to avoid grapefruit products, as they may interfere with the drug's metabolism. Suzetrigine should also not be taken with strong CYP3A inhibitors, which could impact its effectiveness. What's next for JOURNAVX? While its approval is limited to acute pain, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, the company behind suzetrigine, is actively researching its use in chronic pain conditions such as painful diabetic peripheral neuropathy, lumbosacral radiculopathy, sciatica, and lower back nerve pain. However, a recent Phase 2 study showed no significant improvement over placebo for chronic lower back pain, raising questions about its long-term potential beyond acute pain. Despite this setback, Vertex plans to continue Phase 3 trials to refine its research and explore additional applications. The bigger picture, a step toward non-opioid pain solutions. With the ongoing opioid crisis, suzetrigine's approval is a crucial step towards safer, non-addictive pain management options. This development could reshape the way doctors prescribe pain medication, reducing reliance on opioids while still ensuring that patients receive effective relief. What do you think about this new non-opioid pain treatment? Do you believe medications like suzetrigine will help reduce opioid dependence in the U.S.? Join the conversation and share your thoughts. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their insights.
Well, I'm excited about it. I'm being honest. Anything we can do to get away from these opioids. For those that may not know, opioid is basically it's raw heroin. It's basically what it is. And I can remember 40 years ago when I had my accident. They gave me, after my accident, my doctor put me all back together and all that stuff. He gave me some Tylenol codeine liquid, simply because I was wired up and, couldn't take a pill, right? But, man, that stuff was, it was killer. Man, you had one of those syringes, you know what I'm saying, without a needle on it or whatever. And my wife would draw up, however many cc's I was supposed to take per dose or whatever, right? But man, I take that stuff. I'm talking about within 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, I just feel this whole sensation come over my whole body, right? And I mean, I started feeling really good, And then the next thing I know, I'm calling my doctor. I'm like, dude, I need another prescription. He said, hold on, Ed. You're not due for at least another week, right? Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm using it. I guess I'm in that much pain. He said, well, I'm going to go ahead and prescribe it for you. He said, but this is the last one until, for a while. He said, you're going to learn to deal with it. You know, I can remember when I was in the hospital, they giving me, what is that? What's that other one? Methadone? Not methadone.
The lot.
No, no, no. Higher than that is morphine. They were giving me morphine, right? When I first came out of surgery, from my initial accident, I literally hallucinated twice on that stuff, right? Uh, One time I was hallucinating so bad that I literally got out of the bed and I was trying to hide under my bed. Now you say, okay, well, why is he hiding under his bed? The movie The Gremlins had just came out. Okay, I had not seen the movie yet, but I had seen the trailers. Them gremlins was in my room and they was at my ass. Okay. I was trying to get away from them gremlins. So as soon as I woke up long enough to be able to have a conversation with them, because, of course, they're keeping me sedated, right? Dude, take me off of this. Move me down to Demerol, right? And then once I came out of ICU, I said, no, I don't, you can keep the Demerol. Maybe that'll help me sleep at night. But, from that point on, just give me some Tylenol. I'm good. You know, I mean, now, like right now, I'm dealing with some stuff. I'm going through some pain and stuff like that. But I don't want to deal with nothing that's opioid based. I just don't want it. I don't want to. I don't want to risk it. So I think it's a good thing that we're moving away from opioids.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing, with this opioid thing was a big crisis that was going on in America, in rural towns, even upper class towns too. And after they cut down on opioids, there was a lot of people that hit the streets and was looking for the other thing. You know what I mean? For like heroin and stuff like that.
Well, not only that, Pedro. I mean, I can remember, people literally doctors, right? You can go to that doctor and tell him you were having some sort of pain, whatever, right?
Hmm.
And he was plugged in with the pharmacy next door. So you go in there, get the get the prescription. Then you leave his office, go next door to the pharmacy and get the, whatever, whether it was syrup or whether it was pills, right?
Hmm.
And then when you come out, it was somebody right there waiting on you to buy them from you. I mean, I had a dude, man, that he lived on codeine, right? And dude would, man, he took so much codeine, he literally used to get into that heron nod kind of thing. He'd be standing up, sleep. You know what I'm saying? Man, one of these days he gonna fall and bust his head wide open. You know what I'm saying? But again, we got to get away from that kind of stuff. We got to get, these drugs that, yeah, we need pain management, but at the same time, we don't need something that's going to be addictive.
That's correct. It's good that we're moving away from opioids. Even though in the article states that it working for acute pain, not severe pain. But hopefully, with this new type of technology, AI and stuff like that, they're able to somehow come out with a new type of compound that does the trick and it's not addictive. You know.
Right. Hey,
Hmm.
what you think about this stuff, Brett?
I think people should just use broccoli.
I agree. I agree. Something I found also when I was, doing the research on this, they're only giving people 50 milligrams at a time. I mean, it's such a low dosage right now that they literally stated that you actually have to get it into your system, maybe a day or so before it actually starts taking effect. You know what I'm saying? So that just tells me that there's room for expansion once they get through with all of these trials and stuff. To where maybe they can up that dosage. Once they realize through the trials that okay, well maybe they need 75, maybe they need 100 milligrams, whatever the case may be. So, uh, but yeah, no, I'm just glad they're moving away from the opioids. It's needed, it's necessary. I mean, a lot of people they may not know fentanyl is opioid on steroids. Okay, so I mean, they're actually adding fentanyl to other stuff to make it stronger. So, man, stay away from that stuff. It'll ruin your life. It really will.
Yeah, they said a little a small grain of rice of fentanyl can kill you.
Yeah, pure fentanyl.
Yeah, and people
Yeah,
are doing like straight like that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad. It's sad. About the opioids and how the correlation of the doctors and the pharmacies and somewhat in some places being in cahoots. Not everyone. I'm saying the ones that got busted. There was a pharmacy that had lines around the corner for people to get in. They were serving more people that they were serving three times more patients that that population in that town had.
Well, yeah. I mean, and then guess what? It's all in the urban neighborhoods. It's not in the middle class, upper class neighborhoods. It's all in the urban neighborhoods. Where all of this stuff is going on. And the sad part about it is, like you said, there are lines and stuff around the building. A lot of the people that were lined up around the building came from them other neighborhoods because they knew they could come over there and score. So really, really, really a sad situation. I'm just glad we're finally making a step to move away from that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, as years pass and we develop new medications and develop new strategies in medic and the healthcare industry. Um, the more better the help gets, even with the medications. We just need to phase out medications that get people addicted, like that opioids. Had um, and it was just not just the urban areas. It was like moms, grandma. It was all over the place.
Well,
Even
yeah,
now.
with the oxycontin, opioids, and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I mean, I get it, I do. But again, they had doctors that would write them
Hmm.
scripts. You know what I'm saying, and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So I mean, it's crazy. It's just So
Yeah.
anyway, before we move into the next one, Britt, we got any comments down there?
We do. We do. George said, "Hey, Britt, what about Atari?" I was not old enough for Atari. I remember Duck Hunt. I remember the Nintendo 64, but
George.
I do not remember Atari.
I remember Atari. Never really played with it, but George is showing your age.
Well, it was pre Nintendo.
Just pre everything.
Well, how about this one? I used to play Pong. You know what Pong is?
Yeah, we know
I've
what
heard of
Pong.
Pong, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Pong was nothing but a screen where it's like playing tennis, where you had the little controller and the ball that went from one side of the screen to the other, and you had to block it
Brittany,
in order to send it back the other way.
let me tell you what the remote was. Was a joystick and one or two buttons. That's it.
No, we didn't have a button. We had a knob. We had a little
A
knob. You
knob.
could.
That's it. Damn, he was on first generation, it was just a joystick with a little button on top, huh?
I mean, I'm serious. All it literally had was a button to start the game and then a knob to control your little, your paddle, if you will, right? And you'd move up and down the screen as the ball was heading towards your side of the screen or the dot.
So you're saying, hold on. So you're saying you only had one game per system right there at that time?
That's all it did.
Dang.
It was a big thing, Pedro.
Yeah, I got you. We got to cut to a break, guys. We're going to cut the whole break off and stuff. We'll be back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Well, I just ordered my all-terrain cane, so that'll be my new eyeball cane. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that one. Only thing I don't like is the all-terrain cane is kind of like a one-size-fits-all kind of situation. It starts off as a 51, and then you can stretch it out, like a 58, 59, somewhere in there. But, hey, I'm looking forward to it. Now, he did tell me that the Urban Explorer cane, another thing, the all-terrain cane is a 3-piece cane, where the Urban Explorer cane, it's more of a, 4 or 5-piece folding cane. It's still stronger, but it's, you can get small, medium, large, extra large, stuff like that. They're not doing inches. Why? Because it has the expandable handle. So, but anyway, moving into this next article, I know everybody, knows about the tragedy that happened over the Potomac the other night. I'm not even going to get into the comments that our current administration put out there, but this has been something that's, it's been happening for a minute, but anyway, let's play the article and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, air traffic control staffing shortages, a growing threat to aviation safety. The recent midair collision near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport has intensified concerns about the state of air traffic control, ATC, staffing in the United States. An internal FAA report revealed that staffing levels in the control tower at the time of the crash were below normal, with one controller handling responsibilities typically managed by two. This tragic incident has reignited debates about whether America's airspace is at risk due to a shortage of trained air traffic controllers. A declining workforce in a growing industry. Air traffic control staffing has been in decline for over a decade, even as flight operations continue to increase. As of September 2024, the FAA reported over 14,000 active air traffic controllers, yet this number remains insufficient for managing the nation's complex and congested airspace. Between 2011 and 2023, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association reported a 9% decrease in staffing levels, while commercial and private flight activity increased significantly. This imbalance has led to concerns about controller fatigue, overwork, and potential safety risks in the aviation industry. What's causing the shortage? The ATC's staffing crisis stems from multiple systemic issues, including retirement and attrition. A large portion of today's controllers were hired in the 1980s and are now reaching retirement age, leading to rapid workforce depletion. Training delays. Becoming a certified air traffic controller takes years, from classroom instruction to on-the-job training. Any delays or inefficiencies in the training pipeline worsen the staffing shortage. Budget constraints. Funding shortfalls have limited the FAA's ability to recruit and train new controllers quickly, leaving many facilities understaffed and overburdened. How does this impact aviation safety? With fewer controllers managing more flights, errors become more likely. Here's what's happening. Increased workload. Fewer controllers mean existing staff must handle higher volumes of air traffic, increasing the potential for fatigue-related mistakes. Operational shifts. The FAA has been forced to reassign airspace oversight in response to staffing shortages. For example, oversight of Newark Liberty International Airport was moved to Philadelphia International Airport, a shift that sparked confusion and logistical challenges. Runway safety risks. Due to the growing concern over staffing and operational efficiency, the FAA has launched a nationwide audit of runway safety procedures at 45 major U.S. airports to identify and correct risks before more incidents occur. What's being done to fix the problem? In response to growing pressure, the FAA has begun efforts to increase hiring efforts. The agency is working to expedite the recruitment and training process for new air traffic controllers. Expand training programs. More resources are being allocated to accelerate certification for incoming controllers. Conduct safety audits. The ongoing review of runway incursion risks is part of a broader push to prevent accidents before they happen. What's at stake? Without adequate staffing, the U.S. faces a growing risk of air traffic delays, flight disruptions, and potential safety incidents. The tragic mid-air collision near Reagan National Airport serves as a stark warning that more needs to be done fast. What do you think? Should the government increase funding for air traffic control staffing and training? Have you personally experienced delays or issues related to ATC shortages? Let's talk about it. Now, back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
Well, how about this one? Number one, I don't like the idea about expediting training. I think that, again, this is a very, very important job, and a lot of people's lives are, in the hands of these folks in them control towers, right? So they need to be properly trained. I mean, I'm sorry if it's, just like if you're a doctor, what is it, 4 years or whatever in med school. I mean, I'm sorry if that's what it is. That's what it is, But on the flip side of this, where they said, something about, the funding or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go here. One of old boy's executive orders was he cut funding for a lot of this kind of stuff. So, I mean, that was one of the things he just recently did. So I don't know that it actually led to the, what happened there, it's kind of hard to say because the actual Reagan International is in Virginia, even though it's the main airport for D.C. I don't know if you remember, Britt, that's the one we flew in when we went to D.C.
Yeah, no, I remember doing that.
But again, and then, there was one person doing the job of two people, I mean, I've heard a lot of little tidbits and stuff coming out here and there about, what went down that day, as well as, other incidents where, I guess on one side of the Potomac there is the Army base where they fly, with the helicopters. And then on the other side is, Reagan International. And my understanding is this is not the first time that them helicopters have gotten in the way of them planes. I mean, something needs to be done on that level, as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Take them, put them out in the middle of the desert. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding, these folks was on a training mission, but my understanding is also that, in today's world, they can actually fly that helicopter remotely. So, you send a crew up there, they're on a training mission, somebody on the ground can grab them controls when something's going wrong. So what happened there, right? Number two, I was listening to a pilot on a on a newscast the other day, and the pilot of the helicopter acknowledged that he seen that plane, and he made the statement that once whoever has visual of the other aircraft, it is then his job to get out of the way. And it didn't happen. So, but the point being, no, again, we know that, man, air traffic is really, really, airlines, they're trying to put in more and more flights. They're trying to, all this other kind of stuff. You got more and more budget airlines coming out, and all this other kind of stuff. So, man, we need to do whatever that we can to make sure that, these folks are well trained. That other thing where, you got an air traffic controller in Pennsylvania, that's controlling planes out of New Jersey. I'm not saying that they can't do it because they're looking at a screen or whatever, right? But I always had that image in my head of the control tower at the airport, right? They're sitting there, yeah, they can see their screens, but at the same time, they can break out their binoculars and look out that window, and look, and they can see that plane coming. You know what I'm saying? All that other kind of stuff. You can't do that from, Philadelphia versus New Jersey. That ain't gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, and I I'm not correlating the budget cuts of this of the FAA from the administration right now in power, but making those cuts are can and may lead to more incidents like this happening.
exactly.
We already have them understaffed. We have one doing the job of two in a stressful field. This field is really really stressful. They even give them time to stay off. They can't be stressed at that, you know, and defunding them, taking funds away, and and in the sense to, oh, we're saving money. Well, cut some of the billionaires subsidies back and fully fund the FAA. Why are you cutting back? You have thousands and thousands of people flying a day,
Millions of people every day, Pedro, just here in the United States.
millions. Yeah, and your answer is to let's cut, let's cut more, let's cut.
Well, no, no. How about this one? You already have a staffing shortage, and your answer is to cut funding?
Yeah, yeah, but I guess some people think someone that has filed bankruptcy multiple times is a business genius.
Yeah, well, sounds good, but
Doesn't make
anyway,
sense.
doesn't make
It's
sense at all.
okay. We can just hire people from Fox News.
Good one, good one.
That is a good one. But anyway, Britt, we got any comments over there, sweetie?
Yeah. God first said good morning. Katie said good morning. Monica said good morning. So good morning, guys.
Good morning, everybody.
Good one.
Yeah, so I mean it's but no, I mean more and more definitely needs to be done. I mean, when we walk up there and buy that ticket to get on an airplane and go, wherever it is we're trying to go, right? I mean, we're buying that under under the impression that we're going to reach our destination safely.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? We don't know that they've only got half the staff up in that tower. And now, listening to this article, how do we know that the folks that's controlling the traffic at the airport I'm at are actually at that airport? They could be somewhere else.
Yeah, 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 that is true. Look, the understaffing of it, it's crazy, and the ticket prices for the plane trips, man, can get expensive. And also a few years back, remember when the whole C-19 happened, and the air the air the airlines, they try to put their workers on furlough, but they actually got rid of them. So when everything opened up, they had a shortage of pilots and staff. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just in the case to try to save money in a crisis. So so even right here, the government is trying to be about face and say we're saving money and we're cutting this fat, but that is not even fat. You're cutting meat now. You know?
I mean, that's like going into surgery and you got a surgeon and not an anesthesiologist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need the full team. You know what I'm saying? You need to be properly staffed in order to handle the traffic that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we do a lot. I mean, I don't know exactly how many people fly out of LAX, but man, I would imagine there's probably over 100,000 people a day either coming in or going out of LAX.
Yeah, it'd be really busy. That one in JFK.
Well, I mean, all your major hubs now. I mean, Houston, Atlanta. I think Denver's another one now.
Hmm. I
Uh,
want
uh,
to go see the Denver airport, man. The conspiracies on that one with the gargoyles and the blue horse right there with the red eyes in there when you touch down at the airport. Hey, I want to go take a picture in front of it too.
Wait. What's the conspiracy?
It's not a conspiracy, but it's the artwork that's there. It's crazy. They have a blue horse with red eyes, and even when the sculpture dude was making it, a part of the horse fell and killed them. There's the conspiracy is too that they have an underground basis under there, an army base, because the facility is so big. Another one is some of the artwork on the walls about like it's like a whole horror scene going on. I want to go visit it just to look at it. You know what I mean? Take some pics. But
I don't know if I want to fly in or out of an airport that got that kind of stuff on the walls.
hey, it's there. We could go visit it.
Well, no, you didn't hear what I just said.
I heard you. But people do it every day.
I mean, I hear you, but
It's
it's
crazy. I've been to the Denver airport and I didn't see it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't see, but like, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, we have a lot of weird kind of art in public spaces, and some of these public spaces that we walk through them every day. There's a building in New York that has no windows, no outer lights, no nothing like that, just to blend itself to the background. But it's the NSA building. They call it the AT&T building, but it's the NSA. Now that we know because of Snowden and the things that he leaked, we know it's an NSA hub type thing.
hey, like they say that it's hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, yeah,
So but yeah, no, again, man, again, we got to do more to keep our people safe. Safety is, in my opinion, anyway, is number one priority. So,
yeah.
uh,
That's true, Ed. Right? But look, I feel like some states do a better job than others. I know we're on the top of the hour soon, but I feel like California has it in mind. Look, um, the executive orders that got signed. I ain't gonna lie. One of them is about the forever chemicals, deadly chemicals in our food, and they were gonna ban them, but with this new executive order that they signed, they're gonna stay. You know?
Well, on that note, there's something else that I guess was in one of them executive orders as well is all that being fully electric here in California by 2030, 2035, whatever it is. It just went out the window. But anyway, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, put your seatbelt on. It's going to be at least a rough couple of years. So, on that note, we are at the end of our time for this day. Again, we got a movie night tonight. We're going to be watching Elvis. As always, in closing, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that other good stuff. It really does help. So if you don't mind, please take care of all of that for us. So on that note, Britt, you got any comments before we get out of here? I don't want to leave nobody out.
Of course. Tisha said that she'd like to kiss those gremlins, and she said she is AI today. So good morning, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha. So, okay, well, all right. Well, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, you can catch us right back here on Monday morning. So everybody enjoy their weekend, and we will see you on the next one.